And good evening everyone who is watching the stream of VOD arrives on air, and I hope you can hear me, I hope you can see me. Let me get the focus of the both cameras right. Oh, come on. Like, yeah, okay, this one. And this one seems to be more like in focus already. Okay, slightly changed camera settings. So just after rewatching a little bit of what I streamed. So yesterday we started working on the TRS tip apologies. Oh god. Yesterday we started working on TRS patch cords, tip ring sleeve, so for balanced audio. And the thing is, we kinda well learned our way with these particular connectors, with this particular jacks, with this particular cable. So just kinda to find a way to, well, I mean to how to do it faster with these ones. So yesterday I spent like 1 hour pretty much just making one cable. Not that I'm rushing anywhere, but yeah, it's just, well, still 1 hour for one cable, that's a lot. But again, when you do things on stream, things take more time. Laughing Star, good evening, welcome. You can see my hands, nice hands. Here we have hands. So the thing is that I need 8 more of cables like this one. Basically patch cords to connect 2 audio cards, and one audio card would be like sending, another one receiving, but then it would be receiving 2, so it would be sending 2, and then the first one receiving. So pretty complex interconnection, and that all is just to be able to stream gaming on my proper second PC that's behind me, which is not a bad machine. It's like 12600 or 12700K CPU, actually a ton of memory, 64 gigs of memory, and GTX 1080. That machine behind me, it's my second rig, sorta kinda spare one, just in case something happens with the first one. The idea is to just be able to switch to the second PC like nothing happened. But meanwhile, it would be used as a second gaming seat. So if like one of my friends comes and just, and we stream, for us to be able to stream both computers at once, double vision streams. I've done it before, the easier way. Now I'm kind of doing it the harder way, and I want to do analog audio transmission using these cables. Of course, everything can be done in digital, sending image from the second PC to the first PC, sending audio from the second PC to the first PC and back. It can be all done in digital, NDI and voice meter, but I kind of want to do it the old way because I don't know, feels like more interesting for me. So let's start soldering more. Today first of all, again, very little sleep. Second, this is technically my second stream of the day. The first stream happened on Space Melody Lab channel. I forgot to tweet about it. So we played some nice tunes today. So technically I have an excuse to do a short one. That's why, while we need just 7 more of these, or like this, similar to this, I'm just going to do maybe 3 tonight. So these are for the cheap audio card, because they have on both sides they have plugs from AliExpress. For the expensive audio card, Focusrite, that I have on my desk, the main one, the cables would be like slightly different. One cheap connector, one cheap jack, and one would be like Amphenol. I don't have a lot of Amphenols left, so, but like a very good jack for a very good audio card, just to have it the best way possible for it. I don't want, like, I don't know, it's technically Chinese. It technically seems like it's made on the same factory as Amphenol. At least it's so close, but they still not branded, and who knows if they just break apart. They might, and a piece of that stays inside the jack connector inside my expensive audio card. That I absolutely don't want to happen. So that's the main problem with jacks. Bad ones can break off. Tips can break off accidentally. So let's start working on it. Okay, we have pretty much everything. Feels pretty strange Something kind of feels a little bit wrong, but okay, with the imagery. So first you put this one on. Feastmaster, evening, welcome. Then you put this sleeve on. That's the right order. Some custom the same. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. But for that you gotta have cables. That's the idea. 11 or even 12, you gotta have cables anyway. So unbend the crimping thingy, crimping legs a little bit, then just cut it, strip the insulation to the length. I kinda do it very carefully, not as careful as the first time, since I know the thickness of the insulation here. So, and I do it manually just to avoid losing any strands with a knife. Yeah, I'm bending it a little bit, but this cable is bend resistant. It's a microphone cable by Cloths. Actually, as far as I understand, pretty popular one. MY206, I think. Optical school, yeah, actually. So I told about my second PC, but I was talking about my proper second PC. My not proper second PC, that's on my desk. That's a virtual machine with some real devices. It actually uses digital output. That's how I capture sound from it. Currently you are listening to the music that's being played in just browser from YouTube, that goes through my not proper second semi-virtual PC, let's call it semi-virtual, goes straight via optical to Focusrite audio interface, and it's optical just to avoid ground loops. It's actually, there was no way pretty much around it. Either you get a ground loop or you go just without any electrical connections. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to be, sorta kinda. So now we got to remember about preparing everything properly from the start. So this cable has a structure that we got to respect. So, and that structure tells us that would be the right position of the cable inside the connector. So, and because of that, these strands we twist together exactly at this side of the cable. There's no up and down and whatnot, but since you need a red here and blue here, and the ground you need underneath, yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it, just to avoid things getting twisted inside. Those small things, that's what I'm talking about when I'm telling you about like learning these particular connectors and these particular cables. So that's what I'm talking about. Of course, like soldering, I've been soldering things like that since, I don't remember actually when I soldered something like this for the first time. I really don't remember. Very long time ago, super long time ago. So when I was a young boy. So, but I mean, since I kind of want them to be, I don't know, as good as I can make them, since I've already invested in this Cloths cable, in some not really the cheapest jack connectors from AliExpress. I pulled the cable again, the wire again, outside of the cable. Okay, just with my hands this time. So since I invested in this and a little bit of amphenol connectors that I consider pretty expensive, so I kind of want it to be as good as I can do. Okay, cannot seem to be unable to strip the red one. Don't want to cut the strands inside, not a single one. The strippers, they usually cut some strands. Okay, is it off? Not really. Pretty good insulation, I would say. Not easy to remove. Well, and it's usually on just more basic cables, these wires inside would be kind of pretty soft. These ones are very stiff. They're like bending resistant, seriously bending resistant. Okay, that'll do, just by the length of it. Because this is what's called a microphone cable, and nobody really when it comes to using them in like professional environment, that's pretty much what's it called, the right word for it, something dispensable. Not single use, but something that can be replaced easily and often gets replaced. So people pull them very hard when it comes to like live performances. Sometimes stomp on them, put heavy things on them, so things like that. And these cables are supposed to be able to withstand all that abuse. So additionally, as you can see, it has some sort of kind of cotton strands inside that form technically just two ropes inside. So that all get untwisted, untangled when I start working on it, but yeah, that's unavoidable. That's for more reliability, more strength of the cable. So let's pre-solder them. Cover them in solder. For those who just joined, I use an old way of soldering when you have to solder pretty big things. So I use standard solder, but a lot of pine rosin flux. And pine rosin flux is kinda, well, my to-go thing, and it smells good. So now, that's why I actually prepared everything exactly this way, because this goes here in this hole and fits just almost just about right. So the cable stays there. Now we take these ones. Yeah, you got to do it with something like tweezers, but I have I'm lazy. My tweezers are in the box. So I'm using just pliers. But again, these are actually pretty stiff. They're like very stiff. Oops, that's not a good way of bending them multiple times in one spot. Like this. So let's cut the excess of them. We don't need that much. Just like this. Press them together with the pads. Just like this. And solder them on. These pads actually, it's Chinese connectors, jack connectors. They are unnamed, no brand on them as far as I understand, or at least no known brand. But they seem to be good. At least the contact pads here, they take solder like immediately. You don't need to heat them up. They just, you touch it and it's just ready. As you can see, here we go. Just a couple of light touches without heating half of the connector to like start melting temperature. So they are not the cheapest ones. Here we go. That's our that's a balanced connection. So it's not like left and right channel. No, this is all this is a patch cord for just one channel, or left or right, or just like microphone. This one sends so-called hot signal. This one sends so-called cold signal. And what's the thing about them, the phases of the signals, as I understand, they are 180 degrees in those two wires, and when they get recombined properly on the other end, all the interference from the outside of the cable gets just subtracted from the signal. So they are, the balanced connection is the ultimate low noise connection used in professional audio. Not in a little bit in hi-fi sometimes. Yeah, you can find balanced connections on like hi-fi amplifiers and whatnot, but mostly it's just professional audio. Okay, that's not really soldering that well. Okay. This we need to have a good connection, like this. So that, let's cut the excess of it. Oops, that's hot. Just like this. Do not let the cut pieces of solder and cable to fly into your keyboard. Okay. Technically, you can melt this jack. There's plastic there if you start heating it up very seriously, but well, since it takes solder almost immediately, it doesn't need like tons of heat soaked in it. So you don't you don't have a need to actually heat anything seriously up. Okay, that's crimped, and I tried to crimp the rope back into the legs of the crimping connector, crimping device. So this we bend back, so this goes on, and this just screws on like this. One side's ready. Let's work on another side. Okay, first, never forget to put on the case, the enclosure of the connector, whatever you're soldering, and then like all the sleeving that needs to be inside. And normally I would try to put individual shrink tubes on each one of those on hot and cold pads, but I'm kind of trying to solder it here this way that there's simply no room for them flying through them tonight. Not really, that's just only one. Come on, that's just only one. But I'm trying to do it faster. Since I kind of know what to expect. How to cut them. How to prepare them. So that's like the inner structure of it. We have this here, the red one here. So the red one's on that side, the blue one on this side, and the ground, the shield is underneath them. Testing the length. So kind of like this. So these ones are a little bit harder to cut, to unsheath. To strip. Do not spin like that in my hands. The knife is sort of kind of not really that sharp. Got to change the blade, but for this work, for this job, it's perfect. It's harder to cut the copper strands inside accidentally when it's a little bit dull, but it still goes through the plastic easily. Gonna get you. Good evening, welcome. Yeah, mine, mine don't look good either, man. But I don't have empty spots, they just getting pretty thin. Good evening, welcome. Not everywhere, mostly on top, but yeah, doesn't look all that well here, believe me. Yeah, so preparing them. So kinda these, to cut these ones, it's the most annoying part of it maybe, because everything else gets in the way. Hard just to get one separated. Made them a little bit I don't know how to call it, shorter, longer. The strip part is longer, the steel insulated part is shorter. So let's pre-solder, cover them in solder. Yeah, I got to remember about like accommodating for the insulation slightly contracting when it's heated. Again, the cable is good, so it doesn't contract all the way, but it does contract. Okay, that'll do. Now you put them in the jack itself. Then like this. Then like this. And what I tried to achieve here is to have them moved all the way to the contact pads like this. To have sort of more insulation there, to crimp inside the crimper like this. Okay. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Cut the rest of it. God, my keyboard is gonna be full of them. Yeah, okay. I have to clean my keyboard anyway, disassemble it clean. It's a membrane keyboard, but it's Mitsumi Millennium. It's a kind of famous membrane keyboard. A little bit customized because I had white Mitsumi Millennium and black Mitsumi Millennium, and I just interchanged some keycaps. They're not mechanical, no, it's membrane. So, but when you have two keyboards of the same, absolutely the same type, just different colors, you can do things like that. Okay, now the shield. That will keep it in place for now. From both sides. I wanted to have solder the block from both sides. Like this. This and this side. That flew away somewhere else. Okay, so done seems to be. Okay, actually you're not supposed to crimp them till you figure out, till you check if everything's okay. For example, maybe you got a faulty jack, maybe you melted something inside, overheating it while soldering, but yeah, I'm kinda doing it YOLO. You can uncrimp them and then crimp them again a couple times before it starts falling apart. But technically you're not supposed to really uncrimp, recrimp them. So this one's done too, like this. Okay, let's test it. So first continuity shows 0 ohms actually. Okay, that was the shield, the ground, not shorted to anything, connected to itself. That's the ring. The ring is connected to itself, not shorted to anything else. Again, 0 ohms, and that's the tip. Not shorted. Okay, this one's done. That's the second one. Hey, stop. So this one I've done in like, I think in 30 minutes, so that's faster than 1 hour. Let's check the length of them. They supposed to be, this one's supposed to be similar in length. And they sorta kinda are. Let me see. Well, yeah, like almost 2.5 of centimeter. Okay, that's a pair. So these two cables, these two patch cords would carry 2 channels, for example, left and right, or 2 microphones, things like that. Just because, even though each one has 2 wires inside, cold and hot, it's not left and right, it's cold and hot for a so-called balanced connection. So professional low noise way of transmitting sound. And since we are using like pretty serious audio cards here, so that's one of them. Yeah, they all support balanced, of course. So like this, do we have everything back, more or less, like this. Just moving camera back and forth. Manual focus, got to remember about that. Okay, now that was like for one side, for one audio card. Now I'm going to do two shorter ones for another audio card. So, and those are going to have amphenol connector on one side. That's gonna be different. That's gonna be different. Okay, one's going to be red on one side, of course, and black. Disassembling it. First this goes on, and then this goes on. Then we make these wide enough to work in there properly. Just widen them. Then we strip the insulation off. Kinda like this. Okay. Now we separate them, only to be twisted underneath, like this. Underneath is a very relative thing in case of this type of soldering, but this type of connectors and whatnot. But that's what I call underneath. Ping, invisible. Okay, ping, like that. That's underneath. Okay, just in the length needed. Okay. I'm not even really cutting, I'm just pushing the sort of a little bit dull blade through the insulation. And I think when it hits the strands inside, the copper inside, it just naturally stops. Because to cut that you would need way more pressure, like this. Oh. Okay, getting better at stripping these ones. Again, they usually in other cables they would be pretty soft and bendy. Here they are like super stiff. The insulation is very stiff on them. See, this cotton goes in the way, cotton rope gets in the way, and that's what makes it a little bit harder. People would just cut it off, but I kinda turn it back around the cable and crimp it with the cable inside. I don't know, feels like the right thing to do. Okay, resolder it. So when I have like 4 cables, 2 for one side, 2 for another side, I'll be able to try to do some tests. If it all, well, I mean, technically supposed to work. I tested that the breakout box that turns it into Ethernet connection. Well, I mean, it's not digital, it just uses the Ethernet twisted pair cable, Cat6. So I tested that every connector on that box worked on 2 boxes, and they're supposed to be in like kits and different breakout boxes on 2 sides with different connectors, but I ordered them not the way they go in the kits, two boxes of the same type. That's what I'm talking about. So for channel audio DMX over network cable extender, the jacks go here for balanced, and then 2 things of the same type getting connected using Cat6, I think. RJ45, it doesn't say if it's Cat6. There's even like the printed diagram of how it's all connected. So pretty serious device, and not $5 it costs, more like $25 for just pretty much one type of connector jack soldered to another type of connector, RJ45. Nice metal box though. I think it's in focus. I hope they are. Yeah, with the wires this stiff, actually using pliers instead of tweezers is 100% warranted. Super stiff. Let's solder them. Again, that's the easiest part, thanks to the quality of these jacks. Didn't expect them to be actually that good. They seem to be like just the backdoor production on the same Amphenol factories or something. That, see, there's just one touch and it's all soldered. So the same here. Technically don't even need to cut it. It ended up just all lying on the pad for the whole length. Okay, this part's done. Now this part. Sending it to the side in this case didn't really work that well. It's easier to just send them along the axis and then cut the excess of it. Don't want to hold this metal while heating it up with the soldering iron. Here we go. Got it pretty hot though. Got to be careful. And then cut it like this, again along the axis. Oops, a little bit too much solder. Just to get it as flush as possible here. And if you solder everything right, there'd be enough of the actual conductor here still covered in solder and whatnot. These ones actually maybe we'll have to buy another ones after this job. They're sharp, but they're not supposed to cut through thick soldered wires, full of solder inside and outside. Okay, hey, you come out. Just like this. You. Here we go. When you leave big blobs of solder or long wire, soldered wire ends on the shield pad, that makes screwing this on, screwing the casing on way harder. Okay, now the other side. The other side is going to be different connector. The one that's like 5 times more expensive. A real Amphenol one. Unfortunately, first of all, the radius of this hole is not right, but it's like soft-ish, so can be still put in. In general, has the same type of everything, but slightly different. So different lengths of cutting. You see, it's hard to put it on. It would get inside, but you really got to push it through. So different type of shield wire, the shielding connector. Here you're supposed to, like, I think, put it underneath this tab. There's a tab over there, like this. You kind of put it underneath, and then you maybe solder it from this side. So no blob, no cable forms here. So let's see. Okay, I'm still going to unbend this a little bit. And these two, the same idea. The short one is the tip, so it's the red one, the hot one. The longer one is the ring, the cold one, the blue one. Okay, let's see how we strip things here. Well, sort of kind of the same way, but gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. The same length. Okay. Oh, supposed to be like this. Oh, like this. Then that's sort of kind of the plane of it. So underneath that plane. Let's see. So this is gonna be slightly different. Just trying to figure out how to put it in there. It's supposed to be like this, I think. Then but the cable should be inside the crimping lock, and this should be somehow inside the tab. Maybe if we bend the tab a little bit. It's sort of kind of a crimping thing too, so you can just, I think, crimp it in there if you find a way. But if you solder these ones first, then you won't have access to it. Not sure how it works. Yeah. Kinda like this. Kinda like this. I don't know if you can see. But it's under the tab now. Though somehow ended up being upside down. Yeah. How is it upside down? I'm sorry. Okay. I guess we prepare the wires for soldering, and then we assemble, put them through the holes, and then start soldering. I was just pushing the blade of the knife pretty much against my finger, but since it's sort of kind of on the dull side already, it cannot cut me if I don't move it back and forth, and I don't move it back and forth, I just push it down. Not even cutting, but mostly like pressing through the insulation through the sleeve. Again, everything to preserve as many strands as possible. They're like hair thin, and when they are separated, or when you just start cutting through, it's very easy to lose some of them. Please, here, have it like this. You're gonna keep them separated. One's done. Okay, what I don't need to, absolutely don't need to twist the cotton strands inside any of the conductors. Okay. Pre-solder. Again, what you see smoking is flux. That's what forms actually all the dirt on the soldering iron, burnt flux, and it's pine rosin flux. It smells good, and it's very natural. The solder itself is not that natural. It's partially tin, partially lead. Okay, what I hope for is that these ones actually take solder as good as the ones from AliExpress. Supposed to actually put it all in. Underneath that tab. How? There's probably some sort of a trick that I don't know. With these tabs. I'm used to just the holes. For example, like this, but then it's not centered. And we have the cotton ropes everywhere. Okay, I'm pretty much pushing it into the right position. I don't know if you can see it. I hope it's something at least is visible for you. So once in, I'm kind of holding all the cotton strands with my fingers. Okay, everything seems to be more or less in place. Just needs to be pushed a little bit further. Like this. And then I guess we just crimp the tab inside there. I don't know if you could see it, but now the tab is holding the shield. I will add some solder to it, of course. Okay. Let's start soldering the main conductors here. Okay. It takes solder very well. So nice, actually, once in a while to work with good connectors quality. Quality stuff. Here we go. So that's soldered. Almost no uninsulated wires inside. Not that they're going to move. Of course, the tabs here, the contact pads, they are very stiff, but the wires themselves, they're stiff too. So, okay, let's see if we can drop some solder here, just to make it completely not disassemblable anymore. Well, I mean, that's a little bit, that's not much. But there's at least some sort of connection there now. I mean, apart from just the tab pushing down. So it's kind of pretty strange structure inside. But it's gonna, well, I mean, it stays in place, and it's, by the look of it, gonna stay in place. Now let's do some crimping here with all the cotton strands. Okay, that is sitting there, right? So this goes on top, plastic transparent sleeve, and then we kind of push this very carefully because the hole for the cable is not the right size. These are Amphenol actually manufactures these jacks, absolutely the same ones. The only difference would be the hole of these rubber, not sheath, what's the name of rubber gasket. So, and these ones are not for this cable, but that's what I have. Okay, I'm pushing the gasket manually there because when I screw this on, it tries to stay on the cable. It's not moving with the casing. Actually, screws on way nicely than the ones from AliExpress. So there's a little bit more clearance for soldering living blobs, or actually in this case maybe because of that strange tap mechanism, I didn't leave any solder blobs or any like ends of soldered wires sticking out and blocking the casing from being screwed on. Okay, this one's ready. So this end goes into this device, that's cheaper, and this more expensive end goes into the audio card, that's way more expensive. So cost-based, device cost-based cable soldering. Okay, let's test it. So sleeve or the shield, the first one. Okay, connected to itself, not shorted to any of the... Oh, there is... Oh, we cut a little bit of resistance here for the first time. No, now it's 0. But it was showing 0.003, then 2, then 1 first. Okay, now the ring. Okay, and now the tip. Okay, not shorted to anything. Let's actually recheck. Oops. One more time. Do we really have resistance on the shield? Well, no, it's probably the state of these alligator clips. Maybe some invisible oxidization on the plug that we just scratch through with the teeth of the clips. So here we go, another one's ready. And the last one for today. Yeah, I'm not going to do this full on. I could, with the speed, I could do them all, but not today. I'm kind of like really sleepy already. So is this the right length? Yeah, this is the right length. So black one, the red one we just soldered on. The piano's going crazy in the background music. By the way, I think if you're watching this as a VOD on Twitch, you won't be able to hear any music. Music only can be heard live or on YouTube. bend at all. Spread it wide apart. Removing the insulation, the outer one. Again, I'm not cutting, I'm just more like pushing the knife through. Okay. Out of the way. I could use maybe like masking tape to just stick it to the cable itself, but whatever. Okay. Like this. But I'm just going to suffer with these cotton strands going everywhere. They are twisted in two ropes inside, but when I start manipulating with this, it's like all gets okay. They all get entangled. They all get entangled and go everywhere. Okay, you stay out of the way, I said. You stay out of the way. It looks like probably that like I'm cutting my finger, but no. The blade stood out for just cutting it with pressure, and I'm not moving any reciprocal, what's the right word for it? So not making any movements like back and forth, any cutting movements, just pushing it down. And the blade is technically, the blade needs replacing. The whole of it, it's all like dull. It's supposed to be broken off, the pieces of it that get not sharp anymore, that get dull, but yeah, I made it all dull somehow, I don't know how. Go. One's exposed. And another one. go. The second one's exposed. Twisting. Some would only twist the ends like Fistmaster, but I twist the whole exposed length of it. Twist it tight, and that's just to prevent it from like going all apart, spreading apart. Okay, pre-solder. In my case, they would just go all over the place if not twisted like very tightly together. The cable, by the way, is good too. So these inner wires, they take solder very well. Well, it's copper, of course, as you can see. So proper material for a good cable. So, but on top of it just being copper. Okay. Yeah, even when I twist them, they kinda, when they have an opportunity, they start going apart immediately. Now this. A little bit too long. The longer the ends are, the harder it's to put them in the holes. That's what she said. Okay. One's in. Properly stiff. Oh, come on. Left you too short. Oh boy, okay. Come on, go in there. What's wrong with you? Why did you get stuck even? Here it is. Okay, let's solder them in before they jump out of the holes. Like this. Hope you could see it. Solder really well. I mean, I can zoom in more. Oops, that's the aperture. But then I would have to keep everything inside the frame. So, very, very carefully. And this one, of course, I zoomed in, and this one doesn't take the solder that well. Okay, that's in. All the strands of the rope go to the other side. And this is supposed to be here. Or we can bend it back. I don't know. No, it's probably better to have it going forward. Like this. Can you please maybe stick a little bit more somehow to the surface? Just a tad more. That's not going to move, so I can turn it around. Not enough flux. Here we are. There's like some excess flux, doesn't matter. That doesn't really matter at all. So now let's cut this part of it. Just like this. And then we can try to, oh, the freaking strands of these ropes are in the wrong positions, in the wrong places. You go here. Since I'm not cutting them off immediately after stripping the outer insulation, yeah, I'm kind of dealing with them like they are something really important for this connector. Just like this, crimping them into. Okay, more or less. The main, of course, thing is to prevent the whole cable itself moving. And if we didn't catch some of the these rope strands inside, it doesn't really matter because normally you would just cut it off. But I'm just keeping them. Oh, this is going to be pretty hard to screw on because I made some serious blobs here. So this is not going to sit all that well there. Yeah. There's not really a lot of clearance for this type of soldering inside. Okay, here we go. Managed to just screw it on with a lot of force. Okay, now the other end. Let's take the connector, the jack. Again, amphenol on this side. I don't actually remember if my front panel combined ports in the audio card are noitric or something. Noitric and amphenol are competitors. as far as I understand, remember they both produce a wide variety of connectors, tons of different connectors, not just this stuff is just minor stuff for them, like military grade stuff and whatnot. Here we go, just like that. Split it all apart. The same type of insulation cutting, the same type of stripping, the same length. I mean, if you strip too much, you just would lose a little bit of length of the cable, because you would have to cut off the excess of the cables inside, wires inside. Where's the center of the screen? Like here. Every time you move the camera, the center moves. Okay. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit, because I cannot really control if I'm in the frame that well. I'll be just leaving the frame accidentally. No, go here, not down, up. Okay, so again, this trick with the tab here, I'll try to do this tab that I bent completely out away. So it would be like this, and then like this, and then everything gonna fit inside pretty snug. Looking for the knife just in front of me. Almost there. This is the last two to strip for today. cut half of it and I'm hoping for something. Come on. Whew. These are not easy. Where's the focus here? Like this. I close the aperture a little bit, the diaphragm, but it's still the focal area is not that big. Okay, one's ready. The last one for today. This is the harder way of stripping, maybe the hardest one, but I think it's superior. Well, it's time consuming, very time consuming, but superior to using a stripper, because I'm literally visually not losing any strength here. I lose a little bit after, but not when I remove the insulation. Okay. Soldering the wires. If in doubt, add flux, whatever type you use. Okay, let's just cut them in right away because they are a little bit too long. And now let's try to fit everything inside this thingy. First of all, this goes under the tab. Kinda, and then like this. I hope you can see it. Pretty strange design, but I guess there's just a trick that I don't know. This 90-degree bend in this wire wasn't good. Well, it's copper, good copper, supposed to be able to withstand a couple of bends like this, but it's better to, of course, avoid bending it like this. And to avoid it, you just cut it even shorter. Go and stay in your hole. Oh, I bent that pretty badly. Okay. That's the problem when they're too short. It's a little bit harder to get them to lie on the surface of the pad, of the contact. You would want it to be like this, all covered in solder, and some length of the wire on the pad. On the tab, whatever they are. This, of course, will do too, but there's just a little bit of a little short end sticking out. Okay, and now the tab inside. Let's just bring the cable in, the shield in like this. Here we go. Now let's drop some solder in this hole. Not that it's really going to flow through, but at least partially, to some degree, it would. Okay, and cut the excess of it. Oh god, we got strands everywhere. How did that happen? Enough of them to short something. Getting rid of them. I don't like it. Maybe if I touch it a little bit with solder. Oh yeah, that's not really a good idea, but oh well. Better than nothing. Okay, that was just being very cautious. Oh. Not even to make a good connection, but just to keep them all more or less in one place. Okay. Time to crimp it. Like this. Okay, not moving. The sleeve goes on. The sleeving goes on pretty nicely. And then this part of it Here we go. Okay, so this one is like the most not suspicious one, but troublesome. No, I wouldn't say that either. This one's more prone, the one that's most prone to shorting. So let's see. Okay. Oops, that's the whole lens unscrewing. That's the aperture closed. In focus. Zoomed out a little bit. Okay. The shield's here, not shorted to anything. The resistance seemed to be 0. Now the tip. Oh, the ring, not shorted to anything. The resistance 0, and now the tip, not shorted to anything, connected to itself, 0 resistance. Here we go. We managed to do it 4 cables in 1 hour 48 minutes, so that's like, well, let's call it 25 minutes per cable, which is way better than an hour per cable. So that's the result of our work here. I could continue, of course, at like another 1 hour 30 minutes and it all going to be ready, but I'm kinda, pretty tired. So again, for those who just joined, it's pretty specific solution for streaming, for doing double vision streams, and for capturing, transmitting the sound from one computer to another using professional, semi-professional audio cards, using balanced connection and connections, and using these this type of extender that would just let you to carry 4 channels of audio over one Cat 6 or 7 shielded twisted pair cable. So one of the things on one end, another of the things on another end, and then this connects to your audio cards. So sort of extender, breakout box, and things like that. So like this, and these ends go to your audio card. Would be more fitting to use angled connectors here, but I'm okay with these ones. So that's pretty much what it is. 4 more of these cables and the setup is going to be 100% ready. Then I'll test it, of course, and if it already worked once, but without this breakout box, just 2 audio cards connected with cables like this, and they weren't balanced, so there was some loss of quality, some additional noise, though I don't remember hearing anything. So it's still low level with good cables, and well, carrying non-balanced overbalanced connection, overbalanced, like, well, it's not balanced connection, balanced the ports expecting balanced sound, balanced audio. So if you carry just standard line level, not non-balanced, it would just give you -6 dB, I think, immediately. So it gets a little bit quieter. But again, it's going to be as proper, as musically industry proper as it can be, like when you do analog audio like this. So the cable is Microphone Professional Clots MY1206. These are Amphenol jacks. These are jacks from AliExpress, but they seem to be very good. They are really close to like Amphenol, almost the same design, pretty close. So, and heavy metal. They are heavy, made of metal. Seems to be like soldering very well. So yeah, pretty much that's the result. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. No, not 4 cable. I've done 3 cables in 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 48 minutes, so 1 hour 50. That would be like 40 minutes per cable. Let's consider it like 45 minutes per cable. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. That's gonna be the end. Please do not leave the channel yet, please. So YouTube people, thank you for watching me on YouTube. If you like this stream, please leave a like. Doesn't cost you anything, helps me to see if people like this really well, and subscribe for more. I'm gonna finish like soldering these cables a little bit late. I need 4 more, so, but that's gonna happen a little bit later, not tomorrow. But normally we play DZ on this channel or GeoGuessr. Rarely any other games. Sometimes we would just build PCs. Some interesting PC building and PC related streams are incoming. SPJG, good evening, thanks for jumping in. Yeah, trying my best here, that's the idea. Trying my best with these cables and as fast as I can. Learning to do it not just good, but faster and faster. So yeah, YouTube people, subscribe, activate notifications, because while I'm usually on when it's nighttime in Europe, since I do short streams, it's kind of hard to catch me. So there's that. As for Twitch people, just give me a second here. Let me find somebody. Thank you for watching on Twitch people, Twitch crowd. Feastmaster, gonna get ya. SPJG, thank you for jumping in. Lurkers, thank you for lurking. Lurking is watching is supporting. So that's how I treat it. As for you people, don't leave the channel yet. We gotta find somebody to raid. So let's see who we can raid. Maybe somebody who I know, maybe somebody who I don't know. Okay. Lots of people are streaming tonight. It's Friday, I guess. Okay, Nate, we raided yesterday. Just bear with me, bear with me. Okay, let's take a look at the science and technology section on Twitch. Quite some people in there tonight. There's some streamer building battle bots for Twitch. Yeah, I guess that's attractive. Okay. Just bear with me. Console repairs. Okay, anybody soldering, assembling anything? this guy, let's take a look. Followers only chat, unfortunately. Nope, cannot read that. And these people, they have already a ton of viewers, they're not going to need mine. This one doesn't have. Have I raided him?
Alright.
No, I haven't raided him, but I have seen him. He's doing like component repairs on under microscope. That's low level of Game Boys or something that looks like Game Boys. Okay. Followers only chat. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, we cannot, unfortunately. I'm not going to raid people with followers only chats. That's not respectful toward my audience. Okay, I'm going to raid this guy. He doesn't have a follower only chat. I watch him on YouTube. He is big, well, on YouTube, and he's kind of larger on Twitch. He's probably not going even to notice me here. But let's go to Usagi Electric. If you are into old hardware, and you would think he is like working on a washing machine, but no, that's an old computer. So let's go and say hi to Usagi Electric. His YouTube videos are actually amazing if you are into really old computers, even like before 80s. So 70s, 60s. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and good night.